Well, hello everybody. This video is major, it's explosive, it's epic truth, and I want to make it's for my friend Tammy Douglas, and she's the one who brought to my attention what I had missed over the sexual assault and predator in Mill Woods on Sunday. That was the major release of the Canadian Parliament celebrating a 98-year-old Nazi SS high-level psychopath living in Canada. Brought him in to celebrate with Vladimir Zelensky and all parties. I mean, every single member of the House rose to their feet and gave him a standing ovation. And now the Speaker of the House lies to every Canadian in the entire world that he didn't know that he made a mistake, and nobody from the party in power Liberals to the Conservatives in His Majesty's official opposition and many of the NDP MPs didn't know. They didn't know. They're ignorant. Well, Canadians, I'm going to blow that lie right out of the world in this video. And it's an epic video and it must be shared. There is nobody who's read all of the United Nations Security Council resolutions from 1945 until just 2 weeks ago. I'm 2 weeks behind, as I always am, because I have to wait for all the publications, all the videos and the releases on the website. But I don't think there's another Canadian who's read absolutely all of the United Nations Security Council reports and resolutions since their history, currently up to date within 2 weeks. I'm probably the only one. And I'm going to tell you something about Canada. Nazis all the way through South Africa apartheid. There is no country on this earth today, since 1945 until today, who clearly in the United Nations Security Council reports has had their government take in as many Nazis through immigration as the country of Canada. There are massive reports done by the greatest experts in Canada. You can go through jesters, you can go through the highest academic institutions. Many reports on the massive influx of legally immigrating to Canada Nazi war criminals. In fact, I put in the title of this, Christopher Plummer, the late great actor Christopher Plummer, who did a movie in 2015 called Remember. It's based on somewhat historical accounts, but a fictional representation of an elderly man in a home who's supposed to be Jewish, who goes out and he's getting help from another Jewish member of the home who's not physically capable to track down Nazi war criminals. And it turns out Christopher Plummer is losing his mind. He's suffering from late-stage dementia, but he's supposed to be from a Nazi concentration camp, but it turns out he's the Nazi war criminal hiding in Canada. And that was the whole premise of the movie. How many were able to enter Canada legally, changing their identities through the Parliament of Canada? And there are massive reports about this. Canadians, all Privy Council members know, all Privy Council members lifetime are made aware of this. It's their secret Parliament on top, above Parliament Hill in Latin. I went there. There's a video on my timeline. The Speaker of the House is there with Governor and Council, Governor General of Canada, and the entire Privy Council. Pierre Poilievre is a lifetime Privy Council member. He knew what was coming. They all knew the Nazi from Ontario that was coming to be presented. They were all made aware behind the backs of all the other parliamentarians. Any parliamentarian who holds the title of Privy Council is made aware in secret chambers on top of the House. It's in Latin. You can see that they even have the ministers parking in that secret chamber. It's not so secret. I've done all the research. Do you know where I learned about this, Canadians? By studying the United Nations Security Council resolutions, all of them, and all of Canada's inputs, all of their sick, maniacal, genocidal outcomes throughout all of Canada's years. I cross-referenced them in the United Nations Security Council. It's why Russia was able to bust the Parliament of Canada within moments and minutes. And it's why USA quickly went and stood against Canada. And it's why they mobilized their media, Democrat, Republican supporting media, across the board within record time in the wee hours of the morning. Because they're United Nations Security Council permanent 5 members. They know when Canada's committed massive crimes even against us, the Canadian people. When they point at you and call you socialist or fascist and blame the people, it's actually your politicians. And the United Nations Security Council, absolutely the permanent 5 members, no. We've taken in more Nazis, just like this 98-year-old piece of shit celebrated at the Parliament that they were trying to fool and put past the world. They thought they could get away with it, but they got busted by Russia and the United States of America in record time. Why? Because they're always there, always recording. I've read all of their reports, absolutely all of Russia's reports, all of the United States of America reports, all of China's reports, all of UK's reports, and all of France's reports. And you will find Canada took in the most Nazis legally behind all of Canadians' backs. And there's an ample amount of expert historical documents in our greatest institutions questioning how this happened. And there's lots of Jewish communities in the United States, including one in New York City, very powerful PAC that knows this. They even made the movie Remember with Chris Plummer. But the reality is your parliamentarians are guilty. Your privy councils, conservative, liberal, flip-flop, they're nailed, they're guilty. We can go back to King. The United States knows. Russia knows. I've read the reports. If we didn't have such lazy, fucking useless, degenerate, homicidal, fascist, socialist politicians, they would know too. But they're so complicit in their evil and their corruption. They don't bother. They don't give a shit. They only cared when they were on the United Nations Security Council in those years. And it's how I was able to cross-reference conservatives in 1985, our criminal code revamp in 1985, and cross-reference it to the United Nations Security Council. And it's really easy. The United States busted it wide open, Russia busted it wide open, even China busts it wide open. You can go back to 1956, 45, all those years through. You can see the transition of UK where they put their hands up, honored their fellow allies because it meant their powerful seat on the United Nations Security Council permanence. They said, nope, it's Canada's. I'm going to make an educational cartoon, like a children's almost cartoon, not to put Canadians down, but to showcase what Canada is and what was built here. A lot of Canadians have no idea. A lot of First Peoples have no idea. But 5 countries in this world today, United States of America, Russia, UK, France, and China, absolutely know what Canada is and all its history, including the dismemberment of South Africa and all the white supremacists that didn't get dismembered and redesigned and go through the new transitional process, flooded Canada, just like all those Nazis did from World War II all the way through the late 50s. Liberal, conservative, go look at your governments. You're going to find criminal prime ministers that are touted as heroes from liberals and conservatives of old. Not heroes. Fascist, socialist, degenerate pieces of shit. And they're still that way today. Pierre Poilievre knew. Justin Trudeau, his entire cabinet knew. Elizabeth May knew. Jagmeet Singh knew too. Now maybe a lot of the backbenchers didn't know. Maybe they didn't, maybe they did. But a heck of a lot did. And all those shadow cabinet conservatives absolutely knew. All the liberals knew. Canada likes to play stupid, but the Allies know them not to be stupid. Stupid Canadians don't know any better. It was an accident. They were trying to push that through. It's like them trying to, maybe the world's ready to revisit fascism. Maybe we can go along with this with Ukraine. Maybe we can see Ukraine become a monarchy like us. They're unitary. They don't like federalism. They're definitely deadly against Russia and the United States. This is the sad truth. A reality that's logged in history that can never be erased. And I can cross-reference Canada over and over. And I can promise all of you, Speaker of the House is in that Privy Council. All the former speakers are, including Andrew Scheer, Stephen Harper. We can go on and on. We can go on and on them as Prime Minister in their respective times or Leader of Official Opposition. They're there. They're registered. And they're privy to all of it. Sworn to secrecy. The undemocratic part of our supposed democratic system. The absolute crown that's corrupted absolutely. Secret from the public, where they make secret deals, secret side of the crown, pure evil, and they know what's going on, and they keep it from everybody, and then they play stupid, and they throw one member under the bus every time. They all do it. Conservative, liberal, NDPs participating at an incredible rate never seen before in the history of the New Democrats. Greens there too. It's sick, it's wrong, it's deranged. These are socialist fascists that all constitutional monarchies designed in that old world era are. And Canada is numero number 1. Nazi Germany and its system came after Canada, off the Canadian model. You can look, 1933 Enabling Act. You can look at the Indian Act of South Africa, 1949. All of these things came well after the Indian Act of 1871. You can look at the use of the crown. Chancellor Adolf Hitler was Chancellor of Germany underneath the crown, the actual physical crown. He controlled the justice system, the police, the military, and look what he did with it. That's Governor General of Canada and absolutely all of the Governor General's power. We don't have an elected court like I educated the Dumbos in Alberta, the 3 NGOs that are trying to revamp a pension that they've flubbed so badly. Our premier's flubbed so badly. Ignorant dumbbells. And you know what? They're all in it too. On every provincial level, regionally, it's an absolute authoritarian crown regime, kept secret from all the Canadian people. They lie to the respective subjects in their provinces at the provincial level, playing games of whose crown's going to go bigger, who's going to get more autocratic power over all the subjects, and absolutely exterminate all the savages. And that's the First Peoples. And that's what they do. and they've targeted people over and over in history. The Ukrainians, before World War I and up to that point, were brutalized in Canada. They were listed in that Privy Council as kike-loving, no-good goddams. And they were put to the labor camps, weren't paid $1. That's the truth. Those are the Ukrainians who built this country, most of them for free. That's a sad truth. And Alberta has a rich history of it. Those concentration camps exist today. My family knows all about it. We were Swedes who saw the reality. We saw the reality of the chink tax post that led to the design of what they've done to the subject since that time. And this idea of Chinatown, this crushing Hong Kong idea of building straight up. It's all been well established in the old world for a long time. And it is numero uno one in Canada. Been here for a long time. They fly under the radar, but their crimes are well documented in the United Nations Security Council, permanent 5 members. And there's even other nations that sat in those 15 country panels over the years, the non-permanents, that have logs too. But the beautiful part is you can get it all from the 5 allies. And I am one Canadian who's read every single document painstakingly over many years. And I keep that which is most important. God bless everybody. This is a critical knowledge video. And it's important for people to know that they all knew. All the lifetime Privy Council members knew. And Speaker of the House is in Trudeau's Privy Council. They all knew, including the Governor General of Canada. You could never flub that up unless you were trying to get away with it, trying to normalize it, trying to push past the barriers and go back into Canada's rich, rich history of socialist, fascist state of being in our absolute constitutional monarchy that is designed to be that way forever and a day. And that's what Canadians need to know. Share, share, share. Get this massive, real, factual truth out there. It's important. It's critical. We need to educate more Canadians. God bless. Everybody have a great night. Bye now.